Hi, welcome to Tuesdays with Terra. I'm Terra Bundance, and today I'm going to talk about codependency cycles and maybe cycles that we give our power away. And so I'm going to talk about a few of what those cycles might look like. And then I want you to see if you tune into any of these or if any of these stand out to you like, oh, maybe I do that, or I wonder if I do that, or start picking up on ways that some of these might show up in your own life. If you're feeling like, I need to break some of these codependency cycles in myself. So I'm just going to read off a few of them and show you what they might look like. Someone who tends to need validation. They are looking to others to validate them. So they're saying things like, validate me. Why can't you see me? And then they say, I don't care about your opinion. So they put out two different vibrations. One is, I really need someone else's validation. And then another one is, I don't care about other people's opinion. And it's obviously a split in the thought process around needing people's validations but not really wanting people's validation because you think, I'm an independent person, I don't need other people's opinions. Another one is, help me please, help me please, help me. And then, I don't need your help, I don't want your help, don't you dare help me. And so this is one of those patterns that shows up in someone who may just really deeply desire support, but they don't know how to ask for it. And so they show up a certain way, and then other people end up trying to help them or support them. And they think, and they're like, why do you keep trying to help me? I'm not asking for help. But inside, they really do want help. And again, they just don't know how to ask for it. Okay, another one is, like me. I'm likable, right? Right? And then on the flip side, inside, they're thinking, I honestly don't need you to like me. I don't care if you like me. It's just a misstep or a misfire when you're thinking, I really want people to like me, but I'm going to act like I don't care about whether they like me or not. So another one is, believe me, I'm telling the truth. Can't you trust me? Don't you believe me? When inside, what's actually going on is, I'm just making this stuff up as I go along. I don't even believe myself most of the time. So in other words, they're looking for other people to truly like, don't you believe me? And acting as if they know everything, the know-it-all, somebody who shows up as maybe a know-it-all type of person, but inside they know deep down inside, I'm just making this stuff up. I hope people believe me, but I don't even know if what I'm saying is the truth. Okay. Yeah, sure, I like it. Of course I like it. Absolutely. Inside you're going, I hate it. I can't stand it. It might be a color. It might be something that you're going out with someone for the first time and they're like, hey, do you like rollerblading? And you're like, yeah, absolutely. Where inside you're like, I've never rollerbladed before in my life. I don't even know if I like it. Another one is, I'm being good. Please see that I'm being good. This happens a lot in childhood. And then deep down inside, what you're telling me to do doesn't feel right to me. And so, in other words, they're trying to say, sure, I'll do this. Just can you see that I'm doing it? Can't you see that I'm doing it? I'm doing it right. And I'm doing it well. But inside, they're like, I don't want to do this. I don't even want to be doing this. And that moves into adulthood too. Okay, another one is, whatever you think is best. I'm good with whatever. And deep down inside, oh God, please don't choose that thing. Please don't tell me that that's what we're doing. Another one, you're the expert, you know best. And deep down inside, that wasn't what I wanted at all. You know, could be somebody that works for you and you tell them, well, you're the expert. And then they come in with an opinion and you're like, I don't like it, but I'm just going to say, sure, you're the expert. You must know what you're talking about. Uh, Another thing that shows up a lot is how you parent your child, codependent parenting. And so, what that can look like is shaming your child. If you only listen the first time, or why did you just do that? Or kind of putting someone down for repeating the same mistake. And that doesn't, that goes beyond childhood, of course. But the thing that we pick up is when we shame someone, we put them down, it's because at some point in our life we felt ashamed or we felt like we weren't ever going to get it right. And so you pass that along to other people, whether it's children or partners or friends. Oh, another one is supremacy and privilege. So our male white dominated society will teach white men that they know best. And so giving up your perspective, giving up your voice, quiet your voice because there's a white man in the room or a white woman. Anyone else who's not that might quiet their voice down. Again, that's a codependent pattern, but it's also one of those patterns that's been built into our society. And so codependency shows up in those moments when you don't speak up, when anyone who is the minority in the room doesn't speak their opinion, or society is taught and trained the minorities that they don't have a voice. Making promises we know we can't keep, putting other people's perspectives and opinions ahead of our own perspectives, beliefs, ideas, concerns, wants and desires and needs, basically saying, it's okay, we can do that thing, or it's okay if this thing is happening, when in fact it's not okay. Doing things that don't feel right just for the moment of bliss or love or desire. So knowing that deep down inside, if I do this thing, I'm going to regret it, but doing it anyway because you desire that connection, or you desire that one-on-one communication, or whatever it is that's showing up in that moment that may be very momentary, but because you desire it so much, you give up a part of yourself. Saying yes when you actually mean no, saying no when you actually mean yes. I even wrote down some songs because in our society, music creates such a codependency cycle within us that we're singing along to songs that we don't even realize are hugely and deeply codependent. So here's just a few lines or phrases that you might recognize from certain songs. I'll love you to the end of time, but now I'm praying for the end of time. Making promises that you can't keep. I will always love you. How do I live without you? As long as you love me, I have nothing if I don't have you. I will follow him wherever he may go. Might as well face it, you're addicted to love. Don't you want me, baby? Baby love, I need you. Oh, how I need you, but all you do is make me cry. I mean, seriously, these are songs that have been, some of those I named come from songs that are of today. Some of them are from many, many years ago, but still, when you really stop and think and listen to the way that the songs that we listen to on a regular basis, doesn't matter if it's a country song, doesn't matter if it's a pop song, doesn't matter if it's hip hop, doesn't matter what it is, anything that's out there, you're going to find some codependency in some of those songs. So my call to action for you today is to sink into any of the things that I just named. Really settle into, is this me? Is this something that I'm doing? Is this something that I might be perpetuating in my life? And if so, recognize it, pause or stop yourself when you catch yourself in that cycle, and then forgive yourself for perpetuating it. Okay, so forgiving yourself. So recognizing in that moment, like, oh, I've been doing that. And give yourself a little bit of grace, because many times we're taught that to be that way. Many times society builds it into how we respond and react. And so forgive yourself for perpetuating this cycle. Stop it in that moment. And every time you can catch yourself, every time, stop yourself, forgive yourself, breathe into your heart, and then change the patterning by lovingly, brutally being honest with yourself. Is this working for me? If not, how can I make myself catch it more often? If you catch it once, you're going to catch it again. And you're going to keep catching it until you can catch it quickly enough, maybe even before it starts, you can catch the thought. And it's a process. It's not something that you can just automatically be done with it. I mean, maybe sometimes we can, just like quitting anything. Sometimes we can quit. But if it's a pattern, then the brain synapses are communicating a certain pattern into your thoughts and your actions and your words and all of your perspectives, and even the feelings that you have, the emotions behind the experience. But if you can be brutally and lovingly honest with yourself, it's okay. I mean, I've caught myself. There's been times where I catch myself in the middle of a pattern and I go, hang on, that's not what I meant to say. And truly, literally just stopping myself in a actual conversation one-on-one with another person, or in a small group of people, or even in a large group of people, being able to say to myself, you know what, that's not working for me. I'm going to stop myself right here and I'm going to change what I was actually about to say. That's okay. Because one, you're taking care of yourself and it's not codependent. It's very brutally honest and it's healthy. And then two, you're letting other people around you know that it's okay. It's safe for people to change their patternings with you. And so being willing to stop the perpetuation of these codependent cycles while at the same time giving others permission to do the same thing. So again, I'm just going to quickly run through these as I'm reading them. Help me, please help me. Don't you dare tell me what to do. Validate me, validate me. Why can't you see me? I don't care about your opinion. Like me, like me. I'm likable, right? I honestly don't need you to like me, or I don't care if you like me. Believe me, I'm telling the truth. I'm honest. Can you tell? Just trust me. Trust me. I'm just making this stuff up most of the time. Yeah, sure, I like it. Of course, I like it. I hate it. I honestly hate it. I'm being good. Please see that I'm being good. I really don't want to do what you tell me to do, or what you're telling me to do doesn't feel right to me. Whatever you think is best. My God, I hate that. Why would you do that? You're the expert. You know best. That wasn't what I wanted at all. Then codependent parenting and coupling or partnering, shaming your friends, shaming your partner, shaming your child. If you'd only listened to me, I know best. Belittling, downplaying another person's experience or perspective or feelings or emotions. Even picking up on someone's emotions and then poking that at them, like, oh, you're gonna cry, oh, you getting mad. Those are just little codependent patterns that perpetuated probably from your own life early on, and now you're passing it on to someone else, and that's not healthy for you because you're not changing the pattern within yourself. Supremacy and privilege, noticing when you have privilege, when you have some supremacy in a situation, and actually not saying anything, just keeping your mouth shut, listening more. And I'm saying this for myself as well. Putting other people's perspectives and opinions and wants and needs and desires over your own, making promises you know you can't keep, saying, yes, I'm going to do that, and then actually never being able to follow through on it. Tune into yourself. One of my favorite phrases, and I know I've said this at least once before in one of my other Tuesdays with Terra videos, is if it's not 100% yes, then it's no, at least for now. It doesn't mean that it might not be 100% less yes later, but it is important for you to recognize, for us to recognize, for me to recognize as someone who's prone to codependency, is this really something I want to do? Is this really something I want to feel into or experience? And if it's not 100% yes, then it's no for now. And no is a full sentence. It's okay to say no. And it's okay to say yes when you want to say yes. So that leads to the next one, saying yes when you actually mean no, saying no when you actually mean yes. Doing things that don't feel right just for a moment of bliss or love or connection. Think about those songs, pay attention to those songs. Make sure you're really listening to the words. And as you're singing along, like, oh, this is a heavy song. And it's okay to enjoy a song, but to recognize, like, words become our thoughts become our actions become how we show up in the world. And if we can't pay attention to the thoughts and words that are going in, then we're probably not paying attention to the thoughts and words that are coming out, and the expressions and the feelings and the emotions that are all mixed up in there. So the call to action, notice where these structures and cycles show up, pay attention to them, cut them off when they happen, be brutally, lovingly honest with yourself. And even in a mid-sentence, it's okay to change your mind. It's always okay to change your mind. So please remember that codependency teaches us that it's not okay to have an opinion or a change or an experience or an expression in the world other than the ones that we think other people want us to say, or things that we want other people to do for us. So changing the patterning means recognizing, am I doing this for them or am I doing this for me? And really, reaching into those little brain synapses, those patterns in there, and breaking them up, shaking it up, changing your mind, changing your thoughts, changing your actions, showing up for real, being honest, being yourself. It's about changing the pattern within ourselves. This is a big one this week. Take the time to notice and pay attention to these cycles as they show up over the next few weeks, because October is going to be the month for really checking in with codependency, really checking in with where we give our power away. So have a blessed and beautiful week. Journal a little bit if that's helpful. Really listen inward, and good luck. You've got this. We can do hard things. Be blessed.